Hi folks, welcome to your latest planning outlook that's updated on Friday evening the 18th of September. Generally a good story as we go through this weekend. We do have some rather gusty easterly winds to contend with across England and Wales in particular, so watch out for those, but it's a dry story on the whole. Things though turning much more unsettled during the week ahead as Atlantic weather patterns steam back in and some much chillier air moving around from the northwest with time as well. Let's just throw things forwards to the middle part of the upcoming week just to show you what's going on with temperatures, because that will be the real headline grabber as we go through the next 10 days or so. By the time we get to Tuesday, we've got a cold front that's passing southeastwards across Britain with some wind and some rain associated with this weather system, but a marked drop of temperature is what will be occurring. This chart here is the 850 millibar level that we often show you. The numbers on the white backgrounds are the heights above sea level at a zero, and you've got the heights in metres. It's one of those complicated meteorological charts that we use in forecasting, which might be a little bit hard for you to follow, but it'll tell a story for where things are going, and you can see how chillier air is coming down from the northwest. Temperatures at around 1300 metres then. By the time we get to late Tuesday, we'll be dipping to freezing point or just below. So any precipitation coming into the highest Scottish mountains has a good chance of being a bit on the wintry side, and temperatures staying on the chilly side as we go through the middle and second half of the week. The centre of low pressure here has heights shown as around 1240 metres, the 124 that's showing there, so it's giving us the story that this chart is representing the temperature on those highest Scottish tops, and it's staying just below freezing point as we head into the second half of the week. The wind flow turning distinctly north to northwesterly, and showers then falling with some sleet and some snow and some hail, and it wouldn't be surprising in the later part of the week to see at least a dusting of lying snow on the highest Scottish tops. So a distinct blast of chilly air as we go to the back end of September. That's all ahead of us though. Let's have a look at the charts for the next few days, and this is Saturday. We've got high pressure in charge. It's a fine picture. It's quite a warm picture in many respects. Some of the lower slopes will actually be cooler than higher up first thing in the morning, with inversion conditions in place. There'll be some banks of low-level cloud or fog around, but most of the mountains free of cloud through the course of the day. Light winds across the highlands. A gusty easterly, though, will be really notable across the Pennines, across the Lake District, and across Wales, where some of the local gusts around some of the passes could well be around 50 miles per hour, but that's maybe the exception rather than the rule. It's generally not a gale day, it's a blustery day, but it's one where the winds are really quite varied across the hills. Some places fairly sheltered, others all of a sudden you'll get some very powerful gusts. Those do ease down somewhat as we go into Sunday. The centre of the high just topples southwards somewhat. The strength of that easterly wind across northern England and Wales just eases down. The strongest winds towards the south of Wales. Otherwise, very light winds as we go further northwards. And it's a dry day, again, with some early low-level fog banks to contend with, but on the whole, a good-looking day for the majority. Maybe just some damper air just starting to graze the very far northwest of Scotland, but still, really, it's a dry and fine day. That southwesterly air does start to show itself though more as we go into the start of the new week, and a cold front is encroaching in from the northwest. That'll eventually be the change to that chillier air as the week progresses. For many, Monday is still a good day with light winds, some early low-level fog patches and some warm sunshine to be found once again, but the wind strengthening across the highlands and some low cloud and some rain coming on from the northwest as the day progresses. So by later in the day, maybe turning rather dull and damp across the north and west at least. Things fairly rapidly go downhill as we go later Monday into Tuesday. Low pressure develops almost over the top of us just to the north. A waving frontal system will start to gear itself up, and that will gradually pass southeastwards through Tuesday. Some uncertainty of timing, but it's the likelihood of a spell of heavy rain coming in to many of the western hills at least, breaking up a bit as it goes eastwards, but some rather blustery conditions accompanying that rain as those fronts come through. Those temperatures will drop through the day, and some showers will follow, and as mentioned, turning a bit on the wintry side for the tops of the highlands. Absolute detail is going to be tricky as we go toward the middle of the week, but low pressure is showing itself as being on the scene, so staying pretty unsettled over a few days. The next front's coming in off the Atlantic, and some further wind and some rain, and temperatures on the cool side. So looking at the big picture, just to pick things up from Monday onwards, and I'll run you through the week just to show you how that low develops just to the north of us, and that waving front moves southeastwards through Tuesday. That's then the change to the chillier air, the next low trying to come in from the west as we go through into Wednesday as well. And if you just trace the isobars back, you can see where the wind flow originates somewhere to the east of Greenland, and that's dragging in that more Arctic, or at very least polar maritime air mass coming around one way or the other towards us from the northwest. So keeping those temperatures down, low pressure likely to be over the top of us in some respects, so a rather unsettled, showery and perhaps prolonged spells of rain sort of forecast in the later part of the week, with that risk of something wintry on the high tops. So looking pretty poor as the week goes on compared to what we've just been used to. It's all rather downhill for a colder, wetter, windier pattern as we go to the later stages of next week and maybe onwards into next weekend too, as the indications favour a northwesterly airflow being in charge. So make the most of the fine weather at the moment. We'll keep you right up to date as always in all the local forecasts every day on the MWIS website. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.